And what difficulties, Eugene, did you have to address to bring your stage play to a screenplay?
Well, I suppose it was a lot of words on the stage. You know, it was Billy and Breda on stage talking and telling us everything about their fantasies and fears, and there was a lot of stories about the town and a lot of kind of humour, you know. So we had to take it right back, and the lads, David and Declan, set me an exercise, and they said, write the first act, the first 20 minutes, with no dialogue whatsoever, to get my mind into the visual medium of cinema, and I wasn't allowed to use any dialogue. And then if they were happy with that, I was allowed to use some dialogue, but it was just a way of getting me to really focus on the visual aspects of the story and using visual motifs like the tree and the canal and water and just looks between people to get across what is going on internally, you know. So there was a lot of work on that, and we rewrote and we rewrote and we rewrote and we rewrote, and then it starts to reveal itself, and you know, writing's all about rewriting. Certainly film writing is anyway, and eventually we got there, you know.
And there is that lovely imagery throughout Eden. We're speaking to writer Eugene O'Brien, who wrote Eden, with the tree that opens up the movie and then closes it, for instance. That type of symbolism. What do you think draws you to write in such a way that's so full of colourful imagery?
Well, I think you just try and find something. Sometimes these images are just come out of your head very easily, and sometimes you have to think about them. The tree was always in the play, and it was always about this painting in Billy's room that someone had given them as a wedding present, and he looks at this tree and he starts to fantasize about having this young girl behind the tree, and the tree then becomes a kind of symbol for the Garden of Eden or whatever, or it's either temptation, or it can be seen as a strong family tree. It's you know, but it's like the two sides of Billy. One half of him actually wants to be with his family and wants to love Breda, but he's stuck in a rut. He can't open himself up to that, and the other half, of course, is into this fantasy life of getting off with this girl and then making, which he thinks will make him a full man again, and he thinks that the town will all think he's a great big man that he used to be when he was younger. So it's very much about a guy stuck in a rut and who's lost all confidence in himself, and seems to be on a kamikaze mission to try and get this young girl. And it's only when it, you know, this is a spoiler, but at the end we find out whether he can actually you know, be honest with himself and open himself up to his wife. And he only does that really when he hits and crashes and burns, and then he's kind of forced to face up to things.
And talk to me a bit about that sense of desperation that both Billy and Breda Farrell seem to find themselves in. It's a universal theme, really, isn't it? Eden could be anywhere, couldn't it?
Yeah, absolutely, I think so. I mean, this is an Irish version of an unhappy marriage, but I think it could be set anywhere. I think, you know, certain things would be different in other countries. There mightn't be as much drinking, but it's the same everywhere, and we found that with the play everywhere we went, that people connected with it, and with the film, with all the festivals we're going to, again, people all connect with it. Because I was asked at a Q&A in Tribecca, someone said, is this a particular Irish phenomenon with Irish men, you know, this thing of not being able to open up and express their feelings and all that? And all the women in the audience, all the American women immediately said, no, you know, they experienced it as well. So, yeah, so I think that's why the story has worked everywhere and continues to do so now in the film.
Now, actress Eileen Walsh has described the crux of the problem in Eden as that Billy and Breda simply don't speak to each other. They don't speak to each other. They don't argue. They don't let things out because they're so frightened of what will come out, though. Is that not a uniquely Irish condition, though, a bit? And there's a bit of alcohol in all of that, too, isn't there, really?
Yeah, I think it is. As I said, I think it's an Irish version of that kind of non-communication in a marriage. I think it's probably more drink-fueled than other places. But I think it's possibly the same thing. I mean, anywhere you'd go, you know. They just get on with running the family. He's good with the kids. You know, that's one relationship he does have. And they keep the whole marriage going superficially. It all works. But there's no real sense of intimacy between them. And it's a lot of silence between them. Or if they do talk, it's just about kind of details, you know, day-to-day kind of details. But I suppose it is a particular Irish take on that kind of thing, and it's set in a real Irish town. I suppose the thing about this film is that it's a real version of modern day Ireland that some American viewers might not have seen before. So it's a reason for people to see it. I think it's an accurate description of you know, the setting and the habits of people. I hope people can come and see the movie.
Absolutely. And what do you, Eugene, want people to come away with after watching Eden?
Well, I hope that they're moved by it, of course, and I hope they connect with the characters. People seem to do that, and I hope they come away with a feeling of hope, because we made a big effort with the film that we felt that they deserved, you know, some kind of breakthrough in it. In the play, they don't actually. There's no breakthrough. They remain apart at the end. But in the film, we wanted to give them a chance. So you know, So that's what I want people to. I just hope they've been through an experience that has moved them and that has been honest. And people seem to be responding terribly well to the film, you know, and so it's very gratifying. It's great to be over here with it and have some kind of small release. You know, it's great.
Very well. And Eugene, what's next for you now? What are you writing on? What are you doing at the moment?
I'm working on a script with Declan, and it's a very different story to Eden, but it would be set in the same place, County Offaly, Midland area. Very different story, and I'm just kind of developing a lot of stuff at the moment at home and in the UK. So hopefully we'll see what happens.
Well, it's a pleasure to talk to you, Eugene. Thank you very much for joining us here on Radio Irish.
Thank you very much, Sean.
Thank you, Eugene.
Take care, man.
God bless.
Bye.
Thank you very much for joining us here on Radio Irish. Writer Eugene O'Brien, who wrote Eden.
Broadcasting 24/7 to the Irish community. RadioIrish.com.
We're speaking to Declan Recks, writer Eugene O'Brien, and actress Eileen Walsh from the film Eden here on Radio Irish. Now, you can all recall the independent Irish film Once winning an Academy Award in 2008 for Best Song, and this new Irish film Eden is from the producers of Once, so there are very high hopes for Eden, and we are delighted here on Radio Irish to be welcoming our special guests, Eden director Declan Recks, writer Eugene O'Brien, and leading lady of the film Eden, Cork actress Eileen Walsh.
Hello?
Hello, Eileen.
Hello, Sean. How are you?
Well, goodness gracious me, actress Eileen Walsh, how are you?
I'm very good indeed.
Now, Eileen, you play the character Breda Farrell in Eden.
Yes, that's right.
And just to flesh out now what's happening to Breda Farrell for our listeners here on Radio Irish, let me ask you, Eileen, to describe her predicament for me, if you will. What's the crux of the problem with Breda's life?
Well, Breda is married to Billy and has been married for 10 years. They have 2 kids and a very kind of normal family setup. But it's coming to their 10-year wedding anniversary, and he is interested in a younger model and feels like if he can get with her, then he can get back on track and everything will be fine with the marriage again. And meanwhile, Breda has just losing weight, getting back in shape and feeling like she can win her man back and get the interest back in their marriage and light the flame of love again. So it's all just set over the weekend and as to what happens over that weekend.